Welcome back to Star-Crossed Kings after 2-day hiatus. We're finally able to resume this series. Again, it is OMGPOP versus VonIvan. This is Game 3. And yes, we are going to raffle some new challengers after this series, I suspect, I hope. And this game, again, OMGPOP versus VonIvan. It is 1-1. VonIvan won as Soviets in Game 1. OMGPOP won as US Forces in Game 2. And if you remember the victory point counter at the end of each game, OMGPOP had the lead by a very slim margin, 495 to 483. So OMGPOP did get faction selection for this particular game, and it's now going to be US Forces versus Ostheer on Samoski Winter. So OMGPOP has chosen Rifle Company as soon as the game has begun, and VonIvan has fielded Spearhead, Mobile Defense, and Lightning War. We're going to see a Grenadier MG42 opening from VonIvan. OMGPOP, of course, going with Elite Riflemen in the field with those. He will send one squad of Riflemen north, another squad towards the center village. His rear echelon's going for the south fuel.
We have a fresh Grenadier squad.
And this squad of Grenadiers is making its way towards the victory point here in the north. The MG42 is making its way towards the south fuel. No engagements yet, and OMGPOP is skipping past the north munitions and victory point to take control of this fuel here in the north with that squad of riflemen, and sending his other squad of riflemen straight for the house here in the central village. Rear echelon troops taking up a position in this house. OMGPOP playing very much for building control at this time. VonIvan's going to have to react to that in some way. He wants to take control of a fuel point. These Grenadiers are going to go for this house right here, surrounded by riflemen and rear echelon troops. They've already taken a bit of damage, and VonIvan is going to queue up a sniper now. He's not going to have a whole lot of time, freedom with that sniper, as the lieutenant's already in production here from OMGPOP and holding both of the fuel points at the beginning of the game. It means that his M20 is going to hit the field extremely quickly. And he hasn't had to do any reinforcement either, so no manpower bleed of any kind. MG42 sets up the fire on those riflemen there. And they have taken control of this cutoff, which means that the south munitions are not going to be coming in for VonIvan. And here in the north, riflemen inside this building are going to try and push away Grenadiers on the left. With only one west-facing window, Grenadiers may win this engagement, but it's going to take some time just to get those riflemen out of there. And as long as they're in that house, they will threaten to control VonIvan's cutoff, his north cutoff. The Grenadiers in this building are losing the engagement, barely inflicting any damage on the riflemen in this house. They have brought the rear echelon troops pretty low, however. They're going to be forced to retreat soon. Those riflemen move into their retreat path. It will be quite dangerous. MG42 moves up closer to the building, however, to fire upon them for now. And Pioneers are trying to work on the fuel, slowly working on the rear echelon troops in that house. Grenadiers here in the north are winning the engagement against these riflemen, trying to get in some yellow cover. There's not very much of it. I think only one model can get the cover bonus there, if he can get it at all. The sniper's on the field and he has begun firing at the building, and the M20 is about to complete for OMGPOP. Riflemen have fallen down to just one man remaining. We saw a really similar moment to this last game. They're going to hide behind the trees again. If VonIvan leaves this area with those Grenadiers, they will be able to take this cutoff. And support is actually on the way from these riflemen to push away those Grenadiers, so this rifle squad should be able to retreat just fine. There's a lieutenant in the area as well. The rear echelon troops here in the south have finally retreated out of that building. Pios may or may not snipe that. No lucky hits. Riflemen in the building also fall quite low and will be forced to retreat. M20 scares the sniper away, but it cannot chase with Grenadiers in its path. These Grenadiers have made it to the fuel point without encountering the lieutenant or elite riflemen. They're going to move to chase him away soon enough. The M20 decided to go in hard against the MG42 and Grenadiers, gambling that VonIvan wouldn't really have that much munitions, and he is correct. VonIvan has only 30, with 32 coming in, having only just now restored the strategic cutoff point. He is extremely hurt for munitions, in fact, which is a bad situation to be in when you fielded a sniper, because you really want to have access to the medic bunker in your base. If that sniper takes any damage, it's very important to be able to heal him. Pios will be chased away by the M20 there, and the north has completely fallen into OMGPOP's control. Still has not retreated this rifle squad, using him to do some backcapping over here. A very efficient way to use a wounded squad is for backcapping, rather than retreating and then capturing territory, if it's not necessary. Riflemen move to take control of this strategic point, and VonIvan is completely shut into his base. M20 clears the MG42. Grenadiers are forced to retreat. Quite a bit of manpower bleed there. VonIvan has gone battle phase 1 and is just now constructing his tier 2. Once that's on the field, maybe he can break free a little bit. 20 finds an opportunity against the sniper. Sort of. Pushes it out of cover. One more burst and it's done. There it goes. Panzerfaust connects with the M20, bringing it pretty low. Meanwhile, here in the north, double vet riflemen seem to be winning this engagement. And that grenade doesn't do a whole lot to turn it in their favor. No losses inflicted. Lieutenant is in their retreat path with Vet 2 rifleman support. I think that squad might get wiped. Here in the base, Pioneers are trying to finish off the M20 with small arms fire, while a 222 and instant gun are queued up simultaneously. Double vet on the M20, huge amounts of manpower bleed right now.
We are suffering losses.
I've seen this from OMGPOP again and again. Base rush with light vehicles. By the time that one gets destroyed and exhausts all of his opponent's munitions, the AA half-track is already on its way, and once that makes its way into VonIvan's base, there's not going to be a whole lot he can do about it except for try and take it out with extremely small infantry forces and its tank gun. Riflemen here in the north with lieutenant support also wipe the Grenadier squad before it can retreat, bringing VonIvan down to only a squad of Grenadiers, Pios, and this AT gun.
The enemy has broken our supply lines.
Those two squads retreat. AT gun is on the field. 221 on the field with only 6 munitions coming in. He can afford basically one Panzerfaust and not much of anything else. The AA half-track does not dive into VonIvan's base, though.
A Maschinengewehr team is awaiting orders.
Lieutenant hiding behind that hedge. Grenadiers move up to engage these Vet 2 riflemen in the house again. Control of this house is very difficult to maintain against OMGPOP. He prioritizes this house quite highly, always sending at least one full squad up there to make sure that that fuel is always cut off. Lieutenant exposes himself. Anti-tank gun set up in the road will push away the half-track. Ambulance is in production now. Rifle grenade into the building destroys the house, and the flamethrower riflemen inside will be forced to retreat, losing that engagement. Panzer Grenadiers getting queued up next.
The
Lieutenant moving up on these grenadiers. We'll force the retreat and get that strategic cutoff back under control. The 221 moving to counter there in the north. Lieutenant, of course, does not have access to anti-tank grenades, so the 221 should have no problem chasing him away. And the AA half-track has been repaired and is making its way to re-engage there in the north. Ambulance making its way towards the center on a Major's retreat point here to give OMGPOP a much more aggressive reinforced position. Lieutenant retreats from the 221. AA half-track does not make it in time to screen it away. Lieutenant has been forced to retreat, but he will only have to retreat to the center of the map. Panzer Grenadiers making their way towards the south will encounter more riflemen in a building and probably not be able to win this engagement. They are outside of flamethrower range, but there's 3 south-facing or north-facing windows, so that's actually, I don't know, maybe they can win that. Fuel is still cut off though. VonIvan unable to secure this cutoff. That AA half-track protecting it. Needs to be very careful how he maneuvers his AT gun to get that back under his control. And it looks like he will win that engagement just outside of flamethrower range. Those riflemen will be forced to retreat. Panzer Grenadiers will be able to get control of that structure, that area. One squad making its way towards the south to try and push those Panzer Grenadiers away. We also have a stolen MG42 protecting the cutoff. And VonIvan has chosen mobile defense and fielded 2 squads of Ostrupen, so this is the second time he's done this, and apparently he's going to try and make it work. So he didn't have a whole lot of success with this last game, but he's going to give it a second shot. He doesn't really have the fuel for a Puma. He's not going to for quite some time. He finally restores control of the north cutoff to get that fuel coming back in, but even then, Puma's not going to arrive for several minutes, and a Sherman has already hit the field. OMGPOP's map control has just been so strong. Riflemen are forced to retreat. With the sniper dead, I guess he hasn't felt a particular need for a medic bunker. He still doesn't have one, and he's spending all of his munitions on something else. I guess just grenades. White phosphorus is dropped on his cluster of team weapons here in the north as the Sherman advances. 221 is probably gonna die. Anti-tank gun manages to get clear before the white phosphorus lands. 221 exposes itself to a bunch of vet riflemen. There it goes. Engine damaged by one of the anti-tank rifle grenades. Sherman misses the shot through the smoke and will be forced to give chase. The AT gun is pulled all the way back to base, and again with no medic bunker in the base, this is a very serious problem, to which he has no real solution. Still 2 full minutes almost before he can afford a medic bunker at all. Maybe longer than that now that he's losing control of his north cutoff. He's been completely pushed back into his base, bleeding manpower like crazy, and his fuel income's going to get shut down right before having enough to get a Puma. Queuing up a second AT gun now. And as both of these points in the north are taken, his fuel income is slowed down to just +7.
New anti-tank gun has arrived.
Move up fire on that AA half-track east. MG42 crew members immediately forced to retreat because of how damaged they are, taking much more manpower bleed. Anti-tank gun set up here in the base with Grenadier support. Another AT gun making its way to the front line to see if it can find an opportunity against the AA half-track or Sherman. Damaged engine on the AA half-track may put it in danger against the AT gun if it can get in range. Ostrupen and Panzer Grenadiers are trying to screen. Flamethrower riflemen doing a lot of damage to those Ostrupen to push them away, and the autocannon has destroyed those Panzer Grenadiers' green cover. As soon as the anti-tank gun arrives to the engagement, the Sherman flanks it. It's probably going to get decrewed. However, a Puma is on the field, and Puma has destroyed the AA half-track, so small victory for Von right there. He needs to get his other AT gun and Puma into position to fire on that Sherman as it circle strafes this AT gun. Puma has just received engine damage, however. Takes a big hit from the Sherman. Anti-tank gun there is not quite in range. There it goes. Puma pops smoke. Sherman firing through smoke will destroy the Puma. Anti-tank gunshot does connect, but the Sherman should be able to get to safety easily enough, and VonIvan just lost 70. Pretty much all of the fuel he's managed to collect throughout the course of the entire game, just gone in that single engagement to this Sherman, and a second Sherman's already hitting the field. OMGPOP has 45 fuel income right now. He can make Shermans for the entire rest of the game, and VonIvan cannot even come close to engaging them cost effectively at this point.
Must stiffen our resolve. We are down to 75 points. Grenadiers, reinforce! Scout car awaiting orders.
All of VonIvan's forces making their way out of VonIvan's base now. Recrews both of his AT guns. He does have Ostrupen for cheap team weapon recrewing, but not much else. These Panzer Grenadiers making a push for the center. They're going to probably get pushed away by this blob. The Shermans are making their way towards the south for now. Panzer Grenadiers get suppressed. Will probably be forced to retreat. VonIvan has activated counterattack tactics so he can capture neutral territories more quickly. His anti-tank guns do manage to snipe ambulances up there, so Ostrupen may be able to capture territory pretty quickly here in the north. While this ability is active, but he has only 25 points remaining, and he's still triple capped, pretty much been triple capped the entire game. Ostrupen desperately making their way towards this north VP to slow things down if they can. The Shermans are moving. To shut this down, I'm not even sure it's going to make that much of a difference, though. Only 7 points remain and no sign of VonIvan being able to get control of a second victory point. There goes that full squad. Shermans take that out. And it doesn't even matter how the rest of the engagement goes because victory points have run out. VonIvan will be defeated and OMGPOP continues to reign as Star-Crossed King.